What's going on, guys? Hey, listen, we're going to get back to going here on business organizations. I hope everybody's healthy and doing well. And hopefully by now, everybody's done with the Junior Achievement Online game. After I make this video, I'm going to go in and do one last kind of update on everybody's grades. I think I've done it 2 or 3 times now, but I'm going to go ahead and finish that up. If you're still not finished with it, keep grinding, keep getting it done. Please send me questions. If you get stuck on anything, I can try to assist you on that. Business organization foldables, I pretty much got all those graded up. I'm just, if you guys that are still sending me stuff on NSB, I'll get that graded and get that input here as soon as possible, as soon as I'm done with this video as well. But what I want to go ahead and get the class going on another lesson. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to go over with you guys today a pie chart. So right now you should be able to see my Microsoft Word I got pulled up here. It's a little pie chart, right? And in economics, man, you have to be able to interpret all kind of graphs, charts, and tables. So this will help us for the final exam if there is one. With those skills. So here we go. We're going to be learning about the 3 different types of business organizations, which you guys did a foldable on and took some notes on. Look at these 2 pie charts, right? We're going to look at the information. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it. And then at the end, I'm going to have you answer this one little old purple question that I got over here on the left-hand side. Okay, so business organizations, right? You've got 3 different types. You've got sole proprietorships, corporations, and partnerships, right? Or I should say it like this, right? Sole proprietorships, partnerships, and corporations. Remember, a sole proprietorship is a business run by one single person. Partnership is 2 or more, and a corporation is going to be many people. Okay, it's basically when you incorporate your business, you can sell stocks, and when you sell stock, it gives people ownership in the company, and that's how you increase your ownership, and that's why we use the word many. Okay, well now we're going to be comparing those 3 organizations using these 2 pie charts. So let's start out by reading the titles. That's what you want to do whenever you're looking at pie charts. Is you want to, or any kind of graph, chart or table, you want to read the title, read the title, read the title. So that's what we'll start out at the top with here. It says comparing corporations, partnerships, and proprietorships. Okay. Over here on the left, you have 2 different pie charts, but again, you want to read the title so you know what you're dealing with. It's going to tell you what information, what is going to be showing you. What's the topic? What's it going to be all about? Okay, so it says proportion of businesses, and then you look here, and you notice there's percentages for each type of business organization, right? Well, let me explain to you what this means here. Proportion of businesses. So if we look at the 3 different types of business organizations, and I ask you, out of the 3, which one's the most popular, right? Which one's the most popular? Well, obviously, the 73% here is going to be the most popular, right? Which is sole proprietorship. What's the reason for that? Well, how easy it is to start your own company by yourself. Remember, we talked about in the classroom, Tony's Get Her Done Lawn Service, Heather's lemonade stand or home daycare, whatever, right? Like, it's so easy to start that up. So that's why it's so popular compared to a corporation that has so much red tape and bureaucracy you got to jump through in order to get started. Remember, you have to go see a lawyer. If you want to incorporate your business, there's paperwork that money you got to put up, you know what I mean, to be able to get a charter and get cleared by the state to be issued an incorporation. So there's a lot of steps where a proprietorship, boom, Jerry's barbecue stand. I mean, you just get it started just that easy. You know what I mean? So that's what this chart here on the left is showing you, basically the popularity out of the 3 types, which one's the most popular. Over here on the right, this is going to tell you the proportion of total business revenue. What does that mean? Okay, well, this word revenue, it means basically how much money is coming in, or based off your sales. If we look at the 3 business organizations and we look at how much money they're bringing in, so I got this money behind me, right? So how much money are you bringing in, and then compare that across the 3 different types of business organizations. That's revenue, not profit. Remember, profit's different. That's after you deduct out all the costs and expenses that it takes you to make a good or provide a service. That's what you got left over is your profit. We're just talking about revenue, all the money without deducting out the expenses, right? You guys remember listening to me in class a little bit of talking about if it takes you $1 million to make $1 million, you didn't really make no money, right? So this is, again, revenue. We're just looking at how much money is coming in the front door before expenses are taken out of it, okay? And figure out the profit part of it. Anyway, looking at it across the 3 different business organizations, looks like corporation, 88%, makes up the most total revenue out of the 3. That means they're making the most money. And you think about the big corporations that are out there, Walmart, Home Depot, Apple Computers, you know what I mean? It makes sense, you know what I mean? Compared to Tony's Get Her Done Lawn Service, you know what I mean? They're bringing in way more money than my company ever did, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what that's showing you. All right, we're gonna land the plane now, and hopefully I helped you with analyzing these 2 pie charts. And I want you to be able to answer that one little itty bitty question and send it to me. Okay, I'm gonna kind of set this up in a manner where you can just message me on Edsby. You don't have to write it down on paper or anything like that. Unless you choose to, you could always write it out, take a picture and send it to me. But I'm gonna have it set up where you can just type it in and send it to me, and that's gonna count towards you answer, you know, for this assignment. Okay, I got one more thing I'm gonna show you. Let me hit pause and get that set up, and then we'll get going here. All right, I'm gonna share a screen now for this new topic I got up here. New topic. Okay, this will be the last thing on this video. Okay, we're gonna talk about corporate chain of command. Okay, we're gonna kind of do a deep dive in on a corporation and kind of how it's structured and kind of how it works, okay? So first thing I want you to think about is I want you to think about how our school is run. It's got a hierarchy to it, right? So if you think about who's the leader of the school, who's at the top, you're going to talk about the principal, right? And she's going to be like the CEO of the corporation, right? Compared, you know, I know it's a school, but compared to a corporation and how it works, right? The principal is like the CEO of the company. She gets to hire all of the assistant principals and everybody else that falls underneath of the hierarchy, right? That run the school. Okay, so who falls underneath her would be the assistant principals. Then underneath the assistant principals, of course, everybody, you have specialization, right? You got an AP over curriculum. You got an AP over operations and administration, right? Then you got the deans. And then underneath them, you have the department heads. Think about all the different subjects that you guys take. You got math, English, foreign language, social studies, PE, right? And so you got department heads that fall as leaders for each of those departments. And then underneath of those departments, you got the teachers that specialize in a particular content area. It's kind of how a corporation works, right? It works in the same similar manner. So what you're looking at here on the screen is the structure or the corporate chain of command of how the basic structure of how a corporation is kind of set up. So I want to go over that with you real quick. Okay, first of all, let's talk about who's at the top. Okay, the stockholders. These are the owners. Okay, it don't matter if you own 1 share of stock or a million shares of stock, right? Those are all. If you are a stockholder, what that means is you're entitled to future profits that the company makes. So every single, whether it's set up on a yearly basis, whether it's set up on a quarterly basis or bi-quarterly or however that's set up, right? When the company makes a profit, if they make a profit, what they'll do is they're going to pay a dividend to their stockholders. So at the end of the day, those stockholders are the owners in the company is what I'm trying to tell you, right? And what does that mean? They don't come to, they don't work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday or anything like that. They're not coming and actually like putting time in at the job. They're letting their money that they invested into the company work for them, and that gives them ownership rights at the end of the day. So let's say you had 1,000 stockholders, 1,000 owners essentially that make up a company, right? What they do then is they narrow that down and vote for what they call board of directors, right? So amongst those 1,000 stockholders, they'll vote for something called the board of directors. And the board of directors is going to be like a smaller group or a representation of the stockholders, right? So, think of a board of directors like, maybe 20 people that represent those stockholders that sit, in on meetings, right? And what they do is they make decisions about hiring or firing the leadership of the corporation. Hey, at the end of the day, what do you want to do when you have a business? You're trying to make money, right? And so the leader of the company, the CEO, I see them as like a head coach or a quarterback. A head coach of a football team, right? Where it's all about wins. You know what I mean? So the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's got to produce wins, and if not, they're gonna run him out and get a new one. You know what I mean? That's kind of the same thing. The board of directors, their job is to hire or fire the CEO, the person that's running the company. At the end of the day, they want that person to, take the company in the direction that's going to yield the most profit for those stockholders. Another way to say that would be like they want to make sure that the company's profitable so that the stockholders are getting a dividend. They're getting something out of the deal, right? And so that's their job. They're going to meet, and whenever they need to take action, they'll do that. Okay. So underneath the board of directors is going to be the CEO, and again, they're like the head coach. They get to run that organization. Okay. The president, CEO of the company is going to hire vice presidents, and they're going to specialize in the different departments. Here in this example, you have a manufacturing department of company, operations, marketing, distribution, and so you're going to kind of have some specialization going on within the company. Underneath of those different departments or managers or whatever, you're going to actually have the employees. And you see it goes all the way down here to the purchasing manager, research and development director, factory manager, right? That fall all underneath of the vice president of manufacturing's department, okay? So anyway, this kind of just illustrates to you guys what the corporate chain of command is. These folks here down at the bottom report to this person here, who reports to this person here, who reports to this person, or these people here, who ultimately reports to the stockholders. Hopefully that makes some sense to you guys. We are going to talk about different types of stocks here soon. I just got to go find that, and we'll talk about it here in a minute. But there is two types of stockholders, and one of the types gives you voting rights for deciding who serves on the board of directors. We'll get into that a little bit more maybe in our next Zoom. But anyway, in a nutshell, this is how a corporation is organized. Compare this to the sole proprietorship with Tony's Get It Done Lawn Service. It was only me. I made all the decisions. I had to report to my wife. That was about it. You know what I mean? There wasn't a whole bunch of trickle down chain of command that you had to follow through. This is what people describe as bureaucracy also. You know what I mean? Hoops you got to jump through. I mean, you guys should see just with at the school, if I want to order a box of paper clips, all the steps I got to go through. Got to get to my department head. She's got to submit the order and send it downtown and blah, blah, blah. It's crazy where you run your own company, you just go to Walmart and buy it yourself, man. You ain't got to take a bunch of different steps. So anyway, I'm just trying to illustrate the difference between the different types of business organizations to you, and corporation is the most sophisticated for sure, but hey, they're bringing in the most money for sure, based off the pie chart that we just studied on the last slide. Hey, listen, last thing you got to do for me, right? Got this purple question right here. If you guys would just answer that one purple question for me based on looking at this corporate chain of command table and or chart here. And I'm going to set this up on Edsby with the pie chart question. And you guys are just going to have to answer that up for me, after you analyze the information that's here. All right, y'all, take care. God bless. How's that, man?